Hi everyone, this is Melissa the Stamp Doc. Today I'm going to share with you a Shadowbox card featuring the Pampered Pets stamp set. So this one I made as a sympathy card for a friend who had just lost their dog, and it seems like I've had to make quite a few of those this year. But this will fold flat for mailing, so both of these sides fold in, and that will fold into a regular envelope for mailing. So just a really cute little card and a great way to express your sympathy for their loss. So let me show you how we're going to make this. So you're going to need to cut some paper ahead of time. I have 2 pieces of basic white cardstock, and these are cut to 5.5 by 6 1/4. And again, there's 2 of those, and then you want to score at the 1/2 inch and the 1 inch mark on both sides. So both of them will be scored like that. And then I have a piece of Pool Party and a piece of Granny Apple Green. These both measure 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a small piece of Granny Apple Green. I went ahead and die cut with one of my border dies. This is one that I had on my desk at the time, and so I just used it. You can also hand cut this, but this is meant to resemble grass, so just use whatever you have on hand. And this one measures about 2 to 3 inches by 4 inches, just enough that that's going to peek up. You don't have to have that fully done. So to get started, we're going to take our basic white cardstock that we've already scored, and I'm going to be using my layering circles dies. So I want to use my largest one on this, and I'm going to put that right there in the middle, and I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So let me bring that into view for you. Let me turn that around so it doesn't hit anything. Okay, and going to line that up, and I want to line it up really in that center panel in the center of it. So right about there is perfect, and I'm going to run that through the machine. All right. Now the circle we can set aside, and we can also discard this, or you can use it on another project, but this is what you have right here. So I'm going to move that back, and let me grab my Granny Apple Green. And what I want to do, I'm going to line that up. Again, hopefully you can see those score marks, and I'm leaving just a little bit of space around all of that. I'm going to place that down, and I have a pencil here, and I'm just going to trace very lightly that circle onto this one. Okay, so I have that there. Now, because these layering circle dies are just graduated, I'm going to take the next smallest one. So I used the largest one from our layering circles die, and now I'm using the next one, and I'm going to put it right on top of that pencil line that I did, and we're going to die cut that. So again, I'm going to run that through the machine, which is perfect. And again, I can discard my die cut circle and my die over to the side. So now we have what looks like this. So I don't want the side with my pencil mark to show, so I'm going to use the back side of that. So I am going to go ahead and adhere that down, and when I do that, there will be just this little bit of a border around that, which just gives a nice look to our card. So I'm going to grab in my Stampin' Seal and go ahead and add some adhesive to that. Oops, I grabbed a little too much there. This adhesive is really, really strong, and so sometimes if you grab it just the wrong way, it will pull your cardstock up. So I'm going to get just a little bit more on there, and I'm going to put a little bit more on the corner here where that would have pulled up. Okay, so we're going to line that up. Again, that should, I'm going to look at it from the other side too. Actually, it may be better just to do it that way. All right, so that I get that even circle there. Okay, so while I have this like that, I want to go ahead and get my greeting stamped on there. I want to make sure that it gets lined up just right. So I'm going to put this in my stamparatus, and I'm going to grab my greetings here. So this one has a lot of different ones. I'm going to change this one to say, I hope your day is a real treat. Just so that it's a little bit different. I'm not going to have this, I'm going to have this one look a little more whimsical, so you'll see how I do that. I'm going to go ahead and lift that up. I've got my Tuxedo Black Memento ink, and we'll just stamp that over there. And I like to do this now rather than when the card is assembled, because if for some reason you stamp it wrong, you haven't lost a lot of time or anything on that. So I'm going to set that back aside. And now we want to do our background, so our back panel. So our front panel is done, and now we want to do our back panel. So I have these cute little stencils, and these came in the paper pumpkin kit for March. And on the first one, you'll see I used this little sunburst one, but on this one, I'm going to use the clouds. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that about here, just so that I can get, I'm going to kind of come up a little bit more. I haven't used this one before, but I want to give it a try, just so we get some clouds on there. And then I'm using a blending brush. These should be back in stock soon, so if you're waiting on those, you'll definitely want to grab them when they become available. And a white craft pad. And I'm just going to tap that in there, and then I'm going to tap right over. I'm not really going to do much more than just kind of push that ink into there. But this white on the pool party just looks really pretty and adds a nice effect. So I'm going to lift that up so you can see. And we've just got some great little clouds there. I'm going to probably add one more right here. And just wanting some light clouds there. Okay. So that was just how I wanted that. And I'm going to put this on top so you can see where that's at. All right, we're going to go ahead and layer this one into the back panel. Normally I give that a little bit of time to dry. If you want to speed up the drying time on that, just run your heat tool over it. It really doesn't take that long, so I'm not too worried about it today if it smears a little bit on me. So I'm going to do just like so. And I want my grass in there. So let's see. That looks about right. Again, I'm eyeballing a lot of this, so just know it doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, so before I started the video, I also stamped and die cut one of the little dog images. And I colored him with some Stampin' Blends. And then I did another one just out of the white cardstock. So I've got two of those that I can put back to back. Now we're going to want to have him pop up. So I have a piece of window sheet, and I cut this to a 1/2 inch by 4. It's probably a little longer than what I need, but that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and put some Stampin' Seal on this image and lay him down. And then on this one, I want to just cover the back because I really want those two adhered together so that it's very sturdy, and that will stick up too. So we just want to line those up just like so. Okay. And our next step is to start adhering this together. So I'm going to use my stamparatus again for this, and I'm going to do this right-hand side first. So we're going to go ahead and put some adhesive right on this outer part here. And I've got that all the way down. So just on that 1/2 inch mark is where I have that. And I'm going to line that up in the corner. And then I'm going to line this one up in the corner as well. Let's see here. They should be lining up just perfectly, really. Unless, I don't think they were off. Let me just double check. Okay. It's off a little bit. All right. So I am going to have to trim some off of the bottom of the back piece there. So let me just grab my paper trimmer. That doesn't happen very often, but apparently I didn't cut it exactly straight. So let's go in here. And again, we want this to be 5.5 inches, so we're just going to get that little extra bit off. There we go. And that way that's lined up good. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and fold on those score lines. I didn't do this before just so that I could get it lined up really well. All right. And I'm going to do the same over here. Now the only difference here is we also want to put our little doggy in there. So we want him to line up just right. So I don't want him too far in. I'm going to go ahead and fold this one that way. Okay. And just kind of want to see where he's going to end up in there. All right, so I know I'm going to have a little bit left over. So I'm going to put him, I'm going to go ahead and put my adhesive down. I'm going to line my little doggy up right where I want him. I'm going to put him down first. And then if we just smash that down, and since we lined up the other side perfectly, this side should go really well. Okay, so I've got to just fold on these score lines again. It's being a little stubborn for me. Okay, there we go. And I want to just trim off that excess over here. And to finish off my card, I die cut just a couple of little hearts, and you'll never guess where I got those from. Let me just show you. With the Pampered Pets, when you die cut the little paw print, you get several little hearts with that. So that's a great way to use that for different things. We're just going to add a couple little hearts there. And our card is finished and ready for the mail. So thanks so much for watching. I do hope you'll give this a try. Maybe not even just on a sympathy card, but on any type of fun little card you want to send someone. Thanks so much for watching. I would love to hear your comments on this, and be sure to subscribe before you leave. Take care.